Hi guys, before I get into today's video, I just want to say that I am sorry that I didn't upload a video last Monday. And the reason for that was because I was busy at work. It wasn't really that I was feeling down and depressed like I was last Monday. That quickly went away, and thank you so much for everyone that's commented on that video saying that, oh, I'm sorry that you're feeling a little bit down. I hope you get better. And trust me, guys, that was only a 1 day thing. Usually, if I get depressed or down, it's usually gone within the next day. But the reason why I didn't upload a video last Monday is purely because I was so busy with work. But rest assured, guys, that I am going to be still uploading videos every Monday and Friday. I have the next 2 weeks off of work, and that will give me plenty of time to plan ahead and film a bunch of videos and to schedule them so I'm way ahead of schedule. So I just wanted to insert this little clip at the beginning of this video to basically say that I am still going to be uploading videos every Monday and Friday. It's just basically I suck at time management. So have no worries about me uploading videos every Monday and Friday, guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have decorated my room for the festive season, and I am also wearing my Santa hat. I'm going to be wearing this thing in all of my December videos, no matter whether they are going to be Christmas related or not. But today I am going to be doing kind of a mashup video. I am going to be talking about all the books that I read and some of them that I DNF'd in November. And I'm also going to be talking about my sort of TBR for December, but I'll get to that later on during this video. So November was a really good reading month for me. I got a good amount of stuff read, and for the most part, a lot of it was really good stuff. So I've got a little list here, and I'm just going to go through all these. Some of these may not have videos for them, but if I do have any videos, I will have a thumbnail for that video, and a link will be down below in case you want to check out my thoughts on that specific book. So the first thing that I read for November was Seeing Things by Sonora Taylor. This is about a little girl who can see ghosts, but the ghosts don't really want to see her and they don't want to interact with her. And she stays with her uncle, and we soon discover that there is this big mystery in this town where all these kids have gone missing, and some of them have even turned up dead, and we have to solve the mystery about what's going on with this town, and also all the rumours that are going around this town about our main character's uncle. And I read this as part of my author request series, and in my video review for it I have inserted a very short clip from Sonora where she was talking about her book and her process with writing it. And it was a really interesting book as well. As I said, a link will be down below in case you want to check out that video. And it's a really good book. I highly recommend that to anyone that's interested in horror. But I rated Seeing Things by Sonora Taylor a 5 stars out of 5. Next thing that I read was Erebus by Shaun Hutson. I have a whole video review on this. In fact, I think that this is my most recent video apart from this one. This is about a farming community which is introduced to this new feed which enables all of their cattle to grow at a very fast rate. And as a result of that, they develop a very strong bloodlust, and they can kill people and fellow animals, and it's very bloody and gory. And we follow our two main characters in this book, where they try to solve what's going on with their town and this situation, and also what's going on in this strange new chemical factory that's supplying and making all this new feed for their cattle. So I really enjoyed this. This was horror. This was really gory and fun to actually read. I cannot wait to read more from Shaun Hutson. But I rated Erebus a 4 stars out of 5. Next thing that I read was one book that I was planning to read in December, and that is How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Everyone knows what this book is about, so I don't have to go into super detail about this interesting book. But this is about a character who strongly dislikes Christmas and goes out of his way to make sure that no one has fun and enjoys the festive season. This is a picture book. I am very familiar with the animated movie, the Jim Carrey movie, and the Illumination movie as well. So I knew exactly what I was getting myself into when I picked this book up. And sorry about the glare, guys. That's just my ring light. So I got this book secondhand on eBay. It was just a couple of pounds, and I thought, well, you know what, I've never read this book before. It's been on my radar of something that I wouldn't mind reading, and it was really good. It's all done in black and white with red in the pictures as well, and it's really good. It's really charming. It's really quick, and I really enjoyed it. It's something that I might hold on to and read every single Christmas. But I rated it a 5 stars out of 5. I haven't done a video review on this yet, but I am planning to do that really soon. So looking forward to doing that. So the next thing that I read for November was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is a book that's based on the movie by Spielberg, and it's implied that Spielberg wrote this as well. It's very unusual because on the book it's actually not saying about who wrote this, but if you've seen the movie, you've pretty much read the book. The only difference between the two is that I can find is that some of the scenes are swapped around ever so slightly, and there are several scenes in the book that aren't in the movie, such as a plane scene where all these government agents go on the plane and say, right folks, we have to have all your phones and all electronic devices because you were flying over a restricted airspace, but don't worry, you will all get your devices when they're all erased. I was really familiar with Close Encounters as it's a really good movie, and the book was really good. It changed it up a little bit. The characters were changed ever so slightly, but they were pretty much the same as in the movie, but the book obviously explored their character personalities a little bit more. I haven't got a video on this yet. I am still debating whether to make one or not, but because I've got 2 weeks off of work, I will probably make this at some point. But for now, I've rated Close Encounters of the Third Kind a 4 stars out of 5. The next thing that I read was Someone to Share My Nightmares by Sonora Taylor. This is her most recent book that's just come out, and it is a short story collection focusing around obviously horror, because she's a horror writer, but all the horror stories have got this romantic twist to them. There's about 6, maybe 8 stories in the book, and I have rated every single one of them separately, and I am going to be doing a video on this book really soon, and it will have a clip from Sonora in that video as well, so I'm super excited to film that video. But it was interesting. It wasn't as memorable as Seeing Things was, but it was like a decent book for what it was. Sonora actually sent me a physical copy of it because I've got it on my Kindle, which I was reading it on, but she sent me a physical copy, which is a paperback version, and this is a personally signed copy, so hopefully you can see that on camera. So that was really cool. I really found this book interesting. But because it's a short story collection, not all the stories are of the same quality, but I give it a decent 3 stars out of 5. And the last thing that I read for November is Terry Pratchett's Father Christmas's Fake Beard. And yes, this is another one that I was planning to read in December, but I thought, why not? I read this in one day. It is a children's book, if you couldn't tell, and it has all illustrations in it. Kind of like in the same vein as a Roald Dahl book or any children's books with illustrations. And the pictures are really cool. They do add to the story. And this, instead of it being a novel with one continuous story, this is a short story collection that focuses around the Christmas season. And some of the stories have got a more heavy focus on Christmas, and a few of them have got like light touches for the Christmas season. Some of the stories in this I liked more than others, obviously. One that really sticks to my mind or comes to my mind is when Father Christmas or Santa is visiting a office and a sentient computer comes on and basically interacts with Santa and says, "Oh, I want a present from you, but I know that they'll take it away from me." And it's just a really sweet interaction between Santa and his computer, and it's a charming book. It really is. I mean, I'm actually not sure whether I will hold on to it and whether this will be something that I read every single Christmas. But for what it was a very charming book. I haven't done a video on this yet, but I am planning to at some point. But I rated this book a 4 stars out of 5. Now, they are all the books I ended up finishing for November of 2021, but there were 3 books that I DNF'd. Some of them were intentional, and one of them I really do plan to get back to at some point. But the first one I managed to DNF, or that I did DNF, is James Herbert, The Haunted or Haunted. This is a ghost story. And ghost stories for me are kind of hit and miss, but I went into this with an open mind, and as it was on my shelf and it was one that I wanted to pick up at some point, and I also wanted to read this author to see whether he would be my thing or not. I didn't get very far into this book. I put it down to the fact that I didn't gel with the writing style of this author. It hasn't put me off reading James Herbert. I just think that this book wasn't really for me. I will probably start reading The Rats at some point. I think that might be like a more of a better introduction to James Herbert. But I don't intend to ever read the Haunted again. But yeah. It's a shame because I tried to give this book a fair shot, but it was just underwhelming for me. These next 2 books I DNF'd partly because I'm doing a buddy read with Kayla Lenzen, and we are reading The Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff, and I wanted to focus primarily on that book as it's a massive book. And the next one I DNF'd is one that I am really excited to read. I am still going to read this book, guys, so no worries. But it will probably be one that I managed to pick up at the beginning of next year. And that, unfortunately, is Last Arguments of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. I am a big fan of the first 2 books, and also with Joe Abercrombie as an author. And this was a very reluctant DNF, but I was slowly chipping away at this book, and it's not that I didn't enjoy it. This book is really good. It has really good twists to it with some of the characters, and I cannot wait to get back to this book. I might pick this book up probably in either January or February. And this last book I DNF'd is one that I was planning to finish in November, but it was just really average for me, and that is Dead and Buried by Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough. And this is based on a movie. I did watch the trailer before I read the book, and it did look really, really interesting and cool about this town that has all these tourists that go to this beach resort or this village that's near this coast, and they all end up dying and being murdered, and the corpses are reanimated and they come back to life. But this book, don't get me wrong guys, this book was a fun book. It was just simply okay. There was nothing really outstanding about this book. Some of the murders in it were really, really gory and interesting to read, but I was just halfway through it, and I don't know, it was just a painfully average okay book. I'm not sure whether I will get back to this book. I don't think I will. I think I'll just let it go and send it to a charity shop, and maybe the next person that picks this book up will enjoy it more than me. But it was just really unfortunate that I DNF'd this book, because I was a little bit halfway through it, as I said, and yeah, I didn't really want to like push my way through a book and just simply say that, you know, at the end, oh, that was okay, nothing special. But yeah, it was just really unfortunate. It really was. So that is my November wrap up. This next section is going to be focusing around my TBR for December. And as some of you may or may not be aware, I am usually a structured reader, but for the last couple of months of the year, I have been trying to do be a combination between a structured reader and a mood reader. So I didn't want to make a video specifically on all the books I plan to read or want to read in December, and only managed to read a handful of them. So this is kind of going to be like my sort of TBR for December. Obviously there are a couple of things that I want to read in December, and they are 2 author request books. One is Dark Sparrows, The Mastermind by Andrew Casey. It's one that I am kind of struggling with, but I want to finish that book this month, and I also am planning to do a giveaway when I do my video review for it. So that is one I want to get to. The other author request book that I want to get to for December is Pride Be Damned by Ellen Boyd. She has sent me a revised version of her book, and I cannot wait to get to that. She's a bit nervous about me reading this novel because it's kind of a thriller drama book, and she knows that it's not really the thing that I usually read, but I'm still excited to read it. The synopsis sounded really cool, and I'm just really interested and intrigued to see whether I will like it. I know it's part of a series that she's doing. I believe the second book is out, so if I like Pride Be Damned, I will read the second book, which I cannot remember the name of, so I will have something here which this will be the second book up here. And obviously, because it's December and because it's Christmas, there are obviously Christmas books I want to read. Apart from The Grinch and Father Christmas's Fake Beard, I want to read The Snowman, which is a point horror book by R.L. Stine, and I got this secondhand off of eBay. It's really short, it's more of a children's horror book, so I can't wait to get to this one. There is also a John Grisham book called Skipping Christmas, which the movie Christmas with the Cranks is actually based on that book. So I am intrigued to pick that book up and to read it, as we all want to try to get away for Christmas in some shape or form. So I'm intrigued to see what I make of that book, as I think the movie is kind of a guilty pleasure. I know it's nothing outstanding for a film, but it's just like really cheesy Christmassy fun. It really is. And currently right now I am partially through reading A Christmas Carol This is the Christmas books by Charles Dickens. This has several of the stories in this book by this author, and yeah, it has obviously A Christmas Carol. It has the chimes, the crickets of the hearth, the battle of life, and the haunted man. Apart from A Christmas Carol, I haven't read or heard of any of the other books, but I'm really intrigued to read them and see what I think of them. I will be giving each of these books in this collection their own separate video, so they can like shine by themselves, if that made any sense. But I'm really intrigued. A Christmas Carol, which I'm reading now, I am just on the section where Scrooge is about to meet the first spirit, so or ghost, or whatever you want to refer it to as. But A Christmas Carol, I've read it. This is about the third or fourth time I've read it, and it's really familiar to me, but I really enjoy it. So I'm intrigued to finish that book, and also reading the other books in this collection. And currently right now, as I mentioned during this video, I am reading the Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff, and I'm reading this on my Kindle. I'm doing this as a buddy read with Kayla Lenzen. It's our first time both reading this book, as I mentioned if she wanted to read it, and she said yeah. And we are really enjoying this book. This book is full of characters, and it is a horror book, guys. It really is so good. It really is. I am really falling in love with J. Kristoff. Even to this extent, guys, I have also bought another book by J. Kristoff, one that is my most recent purchase. I bought this a couple of days ago, and this is Lifelike, and this is more of a sci-fi book. I started reading this book last night. I haven't got super far into it. I've got up to the beginning of chapter 1. I've read the little section at the beginning, which isn't much. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. I am going to slowly chip away at this during this month. So that's that, guys. That is my November wrap up and my December TBR video. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Sorry that if it's gone on for a bit too long. If you have stuck with me throughout this whole video, thank you so much. And I was going to make a little joke saying, oh, haven't you got anything better to do? But thank you so much, guys. It really means so much to me. I know I keep on saying that, but I do mean it. I really do mean it. I really appreciate every single view I get, every single thumbs up I get, every comment, every little piece of interaction that I get. I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It really does, guys. So thank you so much. So with all that sappy stuff out the way, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if you are reading Empire of the Vampire, or if you've read anything else by J. Kristoff. Let me know what you are reading for December. If it's anything that you're really finding really good, let me know and we can have a discussion about it. If you have enjoyed this video as a whole, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you do, please click on that bell, as it will remind you whenever I upload videos, which are always going to be on Monday and Friday, guys. That's a promise. And I will also have a link down below to my Goodreads account in case you want to follow me on Goodreads and see what I'm reading and message me or whatever. And with all that out of the way, have a Merry Christmas, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.